Andy Gale. Andy Gale is one of those, for me at least, one of those attorneys that's different from all the rest in as much as he's really easy to talk to, and that's really key. The main benefit I get from the relationship I have with Andy is the ability to just be able to give him a call and run an idea by him or brainstorm on a topic. Andy's got, as well as a great sense of humour, he actually enjoys attorney jokes. So for example, what's the difference between an accountant and an attorney? Well, at least an accountant knows they're boring. He'll actually find that amusing, which is great. So a story that he told me a little while ago that really stuck in my mind was I was working with him to create some videos, and he, in doing the video, in the background had a whole bunch of legal books, and I just commented on, wow, that's a lot of that back setting looks really good. It looks like an attorney office with all those legal books in the background. And I said to him, have you read them all? And he said, well, it's worse than that. He said, I actually created them all. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, that's like a graveyard of businesses. And I was kind of shocked and thought, what do you mean by a graveyard of businesses? And he said, well, you kind of heard the statistic that 80% of small businesses fail, and you know, a large percentage of them do. And these are all the ones that didn't succeed, but we keep the documentation on what that business was all about. So I thought that was really interesting, and asked him, so that's might give you a ton of insight into the nature of why small businesses fail. I said, so do you have anything that you would get out of that in terms of, is there any consistency in terms of the ones that have failed compared to the ones that have succeeded? Do you see anything that's kind of consistent amongst them? And he said, oh yeah, one really big one. The businesses, and I thought this was very insightful, the businesses that tend to succeed seem to understand the concept of teamwork, of getting people with the right expertise together, not trying to be an expert in everything themselves, not try and do everything themselves. And obviously, you know, that can mean hiring people, but it can also mean outsourcing. So rather than just taking a risk on a legal issue, they understand that it's important to have a legal person on the team, or other people, the right type of CPA, and they look for and seek out experts in their own fields, and they don't try and do everything themselves and be expert in their own fields. Therefore, they don't tend to come unstuck, and they get great advice. And I thought that is a very good, insightful piece of information that any new entrepreneur should really think about and internalize, and certainly a lesson that I've learned. And I thought Andy did a good job of articulating that. So Andy, because I have a bunch of businesses and do a lot of different things online, making sure that I do things in the right way and don't create legal risk for Holistic, but also don't create legal risk for my clients as well, is very important. So I'll often need to just be able to pick up the phone, speak to Andy and say, here, this is what we're thinking of doing in this particular situation. Do you see any risks? Anything that we need to be thinking about that I haven't already thought about? And that kind of thing. That conversation, that is a conversation that I don't hesitate to do, to pick up the phone, has been very important for me in terms of growing Holistic Web Presence. So Andy, I would say, is part of the team in terms of helping us grow our business.